And good evening, everybody. Welcome to a new episode of Holotheatre. As always, I am Dan Tartaglione, also known as D Tartag1. Joining me tonight as my co-host is you know him, you love him. He's the Twitter man himself, James Martin, Solid Snack, and joining us as our special guest is the one and only the man, the man who is going to be planning something big here next month, Mr. Chris Wirfs. How you doing, guys?
Good, Greg. Great to be
Doing
here.
great.
So yeah, we so tonight's a little bit interesting because Jared is currently doing a live broadcast over on his channel, and he's showing up a retro event type of a tournament, or is it a tournament or what is it, James?
It's the league for the small league for the retro events. So they're doing I think Premier New Hope first, and then cycling through a lot of the other retro formats. And so they've got one of the top tables. I believe both players, Paul Feldman and Scott, are 4-0. And then they're hoping to also get some of the top tables, I believe, next week for game number 6 to see who wins the league event number 1 for them.
So, who's playing in this little event?
So I know this particular match is Paul Feldman and Scott Trick. I know Scott Trick does the Comlink app for those that have
Okay.
an Android phone. It's a really great little, really great little app to look at those. To take a look at those. The Star Wars CCG cards on your phone there. But I think there's a lot of people that signed up. I mean, I know Timo's in there.
No surprise.
Yeah, Batmouse. Paul Feldman is somebody who's long been in the retro format there.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dark Deal as well is in that group too. But a lot of both your and Ryan Jellison too. So
Wow.
a lot of people that are tried and true to that format, and a bunch of other open players that wanted to join a retro league event and play in all 6 events there.
Oh, okay. See, okay. Now I understand. Like, yeah, I wasn't really sure what Jared was saying and everything, but it does sound kind of interesting. But you know what? We're not here to go back into the past. We're here tonight to talk about the future, and the future is the Indoor Grand Prix.
Oh
And
yeah.
for the how many years have you run it now, Werfs?
Um, I don't know. This feels like about 7. I don't know. It could
7.
be more.
Well,
You
okay.
think
So I
longer?
know 2020 was the last one. We didn't have one in 2021. Uh,
I'm sorry, I don't have the information. I don't keep track. We can go to
Looks
the
like
history.
we went back to 2016 was the first one.
So 5. This will be the 5th one.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 year. The 5th. So almost annual. We did take that one break year for
Mm-hmm.
sure. Yep. It's been great. I think this will may be the biggest one we're gonna have. Uh, yeah.
I could see it, and
Um,
we'll. So, what made you want to run a tournament up in Endor? I mean, we've had the NPC on the East Coast. We had Texas Mini Worlds. We had the SoCal Grand Prix, which was down in San Diego, and then we have like nationals here and there. We have Worlds, but why
well,
Seattle?
because we just, Armstrong and I would get salty about having to travel everywhere. That's the main reason. Um, we'd be like, man, why do we have? And then when SoCal got theirs, like, well, why did we get one? Or but then we were happy. SoCal is definitely closer for us. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then SoCal kind of sort of, I don't know. There's a little period where people weren't active down there very much,
Yeah.
and there's nobody to organize it. And I was like, okay, I'm jumping in. We're gonna get this moved to Seattle because we have a pretty good player base in Seattle. We have 2 world champions,
Mm-hmm.
and a couple of players that make some top eights, um, and we're getting more and more all the time now. And we got, guys that drive from Oregon and drive from Montana to come play in our locals. So
That's insane because I mean, you guys are in Seattle, and I mean, how long is it a drive for them? It's got to be a couple of hours, easy.
Turner's drive is 9 hours, and
I want to
he can
know. I want to know
yeah.
how long Cohen's drive is actually.
Who?
Cohen, he's
Cohen,
coming from Europe. Yep.
yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, how is he coming over from Europe? I thought the restrictions were still in place for that.
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe they're loosening. I mean, the whole country's kind of loosening up.
True.
I'm not having to wear a mask at work anymore. So
So,
um,
so you decided because you and Harpster, you guys were saying that you guys didn't want to travel, and you guys said, "Hey, let's get out these guys." So let's go back. So the first one was back in 2016. Do you remember who won it?
no. Do you?
I do.
You look it up. You do. Okay.
I do.
Wow.
I
I'm
I remember this one
I'm
because
terrible at
one,
this
I
stuff.
was there,
Um,
and two, it was a
it was Brian
really
Fred.
it was Brian Fred.
Yeah, I think I
Uh,
thought so.
yeah, it was Brian Fred versus Johnny Chu in the finals.
And he has not missed an indoor Grand Prix since.
No, and I hear he's coming out to this one.
Yep, he's on the
He
list.
is. Yep. He is coming out on Monday, before the event.
That's what I hear. I hear a lot of people are coming out before the event. Uh,
Yeah.
is this something that so everybody can hang out, get together, play games?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. It's been happening. Jan and Brian did it one time, and they came and stayed with me for a while, and we just goofed off and played board games, and Jan did what he does,
mhm.
um, and we'd hook up with sometimes we even get together with Aaron Nelson and play board games with him because he lives in the area. I'm still in contact with him. Um, we yeah, and we this year it's my spring break, so I have all the time off. As a teacher, I can take a lot of time off, but I scheduled this one to be at spring break, and it turns out Joe's available all week and Kyle's available all week. I think they're going to take Schoenthal and Hayes, and they're going to go out to the peninsula to see the Frenches
Oh,
on
nice.
Wednesday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
forgot. I
they're back
forgot
from
they were
Michigan.
up there still.
Yeah, yeah. There's not. I haven't seen either one of them online lately. I know um, Ryan plays every once in a while on Kemp, I
Hmm.
think. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be a great time. That first one where Brian came out and he stayed early, we yeah, we had quite some fun times. Um,
So,
but I encourage people to come out, and like at the last one is when we started getting the keg
hmm
to make things a little nicer for us. We actually are at a different venue this time, unfortunately.
so
COVID, yeah,
yeah, I was gonna say because let's talk about that really quick. So, the venue has in the previous years it's always been at the Hampton Inn up there at SeaTac. So
right.
now we're at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites.
Yes, it is actually connected to that hotel. It's the same salespeople that I worked with.
Okay.
So they bumped us because they have a regular group that uses the room every Saturday for an hour, and it's open the rest of the weekend. And they're like, and I was like, well, like, can we do something with this? And they're
Yeah.
like, and they're like, no. Like, wow, must be a very important group. They wouldn't tell me what it was. So they
Very
have this
hush
other
hush.
one. It's up the street. I've been in there. It's actually a very very nice room. Um, it is still kind of away from other stuff. It's on its own little
Hmm.
floor. They have 24-hour shuttle. Um,
Okay.
like they'll shuttle us to restaurants and stuff 24/7. So that's very nice. And there's a shuttle from the airport.
Yeah,
It'd
that's.
be, it,
I was gonna
yeah,
say that shuttle to restaurants and everything is important for people like Justin Desai who have throughout the years have complained about not wanting to eat like fast food and everything.
right.
But at the same time, I mean, the location, at least from the Hampton, wasn't a bad location. I know there was a steak joint a
No,
couple blocks away, but
Yeah. So I think it'll be just fine. It's a nice room. So
Yeah. And for
um,
anybody that needs registration links or information, I've posted in the chat for our Twitch users here. So feel free to hit the links and take a look.
man,
yeah,
James is on top of it. I'm like not used to this.
yeah.
So, with the Indoor Grand Prix, we've had an experience where you have shifted over the last couple of months. Like, we've had the NPC in the spring, we've had the Indoor Grand Prix in the winter a couple of years. Why is the Indoor Grand Prix in the spring this year versus the winter?
I only recently have been gotten on the tournament committee, and so I didn't have a lot. It was always a mystery to me, and but they finally said, Chris did invite me to get on the tournament committee, so I could be in those conversations. Um, it is they've got the calendar way out right now. So
Mm-hmm.
next year we will be in the winter, and NPC will be in the spring for the next one.
Okay.
So, which is much. I mean, weather-wise, it's going to be much nicer because it can be devastatingly rough weather in New Jersey in January,
Yeah.
whereas Seattle is pretty much mild almost all the time. So, doing it with us in January, like we go years where we don't get any snow. So, um, it's a lot. Our argument would be, yeah, have it here in the winter because the weather will be
Mm-hmm.
less chancy. It's still chancy to wherever you're flying out from if it's cold there,
True.
but
Yeah.
yeah, at least the landing spot. We're not all going to an iceberg.
Yep.
So you mentioned the keg and everything. Are you going to be bringing? I know that you have a wide assortment of board games. Are you bringing anything special this year?
Um, I lately, so there's a game called Rising Sun. I don't know if you're familiar with it. The company that made Rising Sun, it's like a 7-player game that's really good. And they made this game called Ankh that's really good. I don't actually
Mm-hmm.
have it, but I have access to it and we'll be bringing it. Um, I just picked up a game called Red Scare that is very interesting. It's another social deduction game like
Okay.
Secret Hitler.
Hmm.
It has decoder glasses. It has a lot of activity and things you got to do. So Avalon, of course. I have the Immortal Avalon set
Mm-hmm.
that's beat up and destroyed, and it seems like I'm the only one that ever brings it. So, but
We need a custom made one. Like I know I've talked to you in the past about getting a custom made one made. Is this something you would like?
well, it's fine. I'm honestly, I actually have moved over. I originally was very down on Secret Hitler, and I don't know why. The Minnesota guys were bringing it out, and I was like, no, no, Avalon, this is too weird and complicated. And then I started playing, and I'm like, oh, I actually kind of like Secret Hitler better. I will, I will. I mean, I'll still play Avalon, but I do prefer. I mean, Avalon is just or Resistance. Both those games are just pure like who knows. Try to
Mm,
read people. You don't really have any game mechanics to talk about or lie about. Whereas Secret Hitler, at least you have something going on to talk about it with the tiles.
true.
And this Red Scare is in a similar vein. There's things to talk about. So, but it's another social deduction game. The only problem is I'm currently in the process of figuring out how to modify the coder glasses because they don't fit on my giant head. They don't
So
reach my ears.
they don't reach your ears. So are they? But we'll figure this out when we get there. But
Oh yeah,
so I
they're
know
not
that
much.
you bring like a nice little
Oh, I'm being a
backdrop.
wide assortment.
I was gonna say. So besides the games, like, are you bringing anything else like special?
Yeah, we'll bring the giant Star Wars sign for the backdrop. We've got the big banner that you got done for me.
The
The Indoor Grand
mistaken
Prix
one,
banner.
the one that says
Yeah.
Star War. I, yeah.
Hey, it's good. And and then a wide assortment of games. I mean, like Space Base and Terraforming Mars, and I could bring out. We haven't done what was that, Captain Sonar? That was pretty fun the one time we did it. Um, but lots of great board games.
It's probably
Um,
some board game related PC prize support that's untapped and waiting for us,
Yeah.
Dan and probably Jared as well at some point. But we'll have to think about that.
beyond poker chips.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
We've had quite a bit of poker at these events too.
I think
For sure.
Brian Fred has gone on record and saying he wants to do poker on Thursday night. I'm hoping to have the episode of Holotheatre that week on Thursday instead of on Wednesday, mostly because my flight is at 7 o'clock out of LAX, so I'm probably going to be staying in LA that night.
Right.
So I can fly out from LAX in the morning instead of driving down at like 2 in the morning.
Plus, in-person interviews is going to be better than having the Skype in.
Yeah. Yeah, we could definitely do something with that.
So this is the 5th year regarding the Indoor Grand Prix. What would you like looking back? What would you say are some of like the big moments or like the highlights?
Oh, I mean, one of the best highlights was the Chew Harpster final, right? The of course the infamous 12-card start where he only drew 8 cards and won the game against Johnny Chew.
But
he
then
went
Chew, I was gonna say Chew
won the match. Chew won the match, but Harpster won that game.
And I want to say that was 20.
That was like the second one
or 2019.
Yeah.
Do you know who has won the event?
Johnny won the event. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm saying like who's like every year.
Oh.
So we've had Brian Fred win it. Johnny won it.
Didn't. Oh yeah.
Tom Kelly.
Tom Kelly.
Tom Kelly.
Hayes won it. The
Lenny,
most recent
Lenny.
one.
Lenny.
And
Yeah,
Lenny.
Lenny in 2018.
Lenny.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think Lenny winning it back in
awesome.
2018 was kind of
That was
like,
memorable.
Yeah, Lenny winning it in 2018 was really memorable. Not only because it's Lenny. For those who we're talking about Lenny Rubin, really nice guy, really out there. But that was the first iteration of map with Imperial Supply.
Right. He broke Imperial Supply.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Corin had a nice interview. I want to say it was Corin that had a nice interview with him, kind of explaining that, especially that deck and event.
Yeah, you know you've made your mark when they have to make a shield because of what you do with the deck.
I mean, map has been errated so many times. Like I don't think that was the first time it was errated, but
right.
Just looking back and just like seeing all the changes and everything, but the biggest one that I can remember was the Imperial Supply, because it was just the ability to use Imperial Supply and activate 4 and then get it back onto via your objective was just insane.
Yeah, it was awesome. That was really memorable. Also, I mean, there's been some late night. You know, I'm the late night guy. I don't think I have ever made a top 8 at Indoor.
Really?
I don't think so. I don't think I've ever made. I think I have 7
my
top
spreadsheet
8s.
says otherwise.
Yeah, I know you've made a top 8.
Oh yes, I think it was the first one.
It was the first one.
I think I lost to Jellison in the first round.
Yeah.
I stayed up all night. He knew I was staying up all night, and he knew I wasn't going to prepare, so he knew I was just playing the same decks, and he just built a deck to wreck me. I was playing the Dark Side. I was playing my Hoth. The Hoth, not Careful Planning, the other one.
Indoor base operations?
No, Hoth, CPV.
Yeah.
Anyway, and with matching ships and stuff, and he just played. He played speeders with the speeder guns and just
That's mean.
me out. And then he totally destroyed me, but then it wasn't good against anything else.
Yeah, and I remember the first one in particular for my sake, because I remember in the top 8, Chris Gogolin made the top 8, got knocked out, entered into the the consolation tournament that was going on Sunday. And in the last game, it was myself, Harpster, and Goglin up for first and second. Harpster won, but if Goglin won, he would win, and I would get second, and then Harpster took third. And that's exactly what happened.
I'm sure that made Harpster salty.
I think so, a little bit. And the best part is, like, I didn't have to play Harpster at all during the event.
Harpster's good to play with. He's fast.
He is, but at the same time, like, Harpster's one of those people who
Intimidating.
always wants to play Star Wars. Like,
Yes.
even after the event is done, he wants to play Star Wars cards.
Yes.
He's also the guy who, if you have any foils, you know, he's going to beg you, or he's going to trade you whatever you want for any foil.
Or offer you cash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have foils and you're willing to part with them, Harpster will find a way to get them from you.
Yeah.
Especially if he doesn't already have it. Yeah. His ideal is just to have a completely foil deck, for sure. Another memorable moment was Tom Kelly playing the bluffing game. It was like one of the first bluffing games where he called every person on the table as having not put a red card down, and was right. And then on the next one, I convinced everybody that he was lying when he said 1, and we all passed around, and he flipped over the winning card, the one winning card to take it down. That was hilarious.
I'm not surprised. Tom he's one of those people, like, he feels like I honestly, like, his ability to read somebody is really really good.
I'm looking forward to Cheers to the Governor with JC. At the last event, we didn't have JC to play Cheers to the Governor, and it's not quite the same without him. James, are you familiar with this thing, Cheers to the Governor?
Oh,
This was introduced by,
unfortunately
I think it was introduced by Greg Shaw
Yeah.
originally. And it's pretty much happened every time. And Lenny is a beast at Cheers to the Governor. Like, he's amazing. But basically, it's a memory game. You go around counting and adding new rules every time. Like on the 7, you have to say a Destiny 7 interrupt.
We did it. The worst was we had to do, like, I know we did one at, I think it was Nationals regarding that. You have to say the 0 side and the 7 side of an objective that hasn't been said.
Right. The first person on one number said the 0 side, and then later, on a later number, you had to say the 7 side of the one the other person said. Lenny had never missed.
No.
It was like you had to say the title. Like, who knows the title of the backside of, or the both sides of an objective? Yeah.
You got to study.
Yep.
Yeah. You got to study if you're gonna stay up and play Cheers.
No. So I know last year, or 2 years ago, was really fun because during the team event, we had a first occur where Ryan Jelson and his wife Elspeth won the team event.
Took it down.
And yeah, it was nice to see Ryan he brought his entire family up. The son was there playing on a Game Boy or something, I don't remember, but Elspeth played in the event. She did pretty well until she faced Casey, and Ryan didn't tell her about Sense, Alter, and Control.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have another family coming. Maybe there'll be a repeat. Maybe Anthony's wife can play.
Oh yeah, Batmouse is bringing his entire family. I don't think
that's gonna happen.
I don't think
Can we add that to Swing and a Miss?
What, Mr. and Mrs. Batmouse?
Yeah.
I don't think. You know what I'm going to say is, Batmouse will not win a team event if I'm entered in it.
Ooh, wow. Okay.
No, you guys have had a friendly and not so friendly rivalry going on. So,
well, I mean, it comes back to Nationals. Him and I played together. We lost, didn't do well. And then at Worlds, I was teamed up with Brad Reinhold, who's a friend of Batmouse and myself, because Batmouse was like, I don't want to play with you, Dan. I want to play with my Star Wars wife, Ryan Jelson.
Oh boy.
And
Your name was Stop Batmouse Cold, I'm pretty sure,
it
right?
was.
Mm-hmm.
And we did.
Until the consolation event.
Well, I'm not going to play in the Constellation event. I was doing commentary.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't count.
Are you going to team up with Brad again? He's coming.
I realized, I don't know.
You don't know. You're keeping
I don't
your
know.
options.
I'm happy winning one team event. I don't know if I needed another one.
How generous of you to spread the wealth.
I mean, why not? Somebody else needs to win. I mean, it's coffee mugs, right?
Yeah. Or
Maybe.
yeah, sure, coffee mugs. You can put coffee in them.
So, but yeah, no. I mean, the Indoor Grand Prix it holds a special place in my heart. Just because like Seattle is a nice city. I know a lot of people are coming up in advance. Like you said, Brian Fred's coming up. Bill Kafer, I think, is coming up in advance. You guys are hosting a lot of people. Brad Reinhold, like we were talking about, he's coming up. So it's not just going to play Star Wars. It feels like the Indoor Grand Prix is a little bit more laid back, and it's more of, hey, we're playing Star Wars, but at the same time, we're playing with, hanging
Right.
out.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there are people who take it serious, like Joe, Charlie,
Oh, yeah. Phil.
Phil. But at the same time, really, I mean,
Yeah. There might be a few participants that are in an altered state during the tournament.
I like this idea. Last week, it was brought up in the Kevin Yop interview where Team Wales, as soon as the first member of their team goes 0-2, they start drinking. So
The whole team.
the
As a
entire
team.
team, as a team. So I'm going to present a challenge. I want to see which teams are being brought out. So like if Joe and Hayes are playing, and as soon as one of them goes 2-0, or 0-2, I want to see them start drinking. Same with like you, Harpster, whoever's on your team, Wirfs. Like
Yeah.
I
You
want to
got the
see.
tournament committee to write that in the rules, you know?
That's right.
No, I'm not saying it has to be in a rule or anything. I'm just saying like
Could be a future event though.
it could be a future event. I'm also
drunk Star Wars.
yeah. There's going to be some nice things that are going on with the Indoor Grand Prix. I know the prize support is pretty good. I'm going to be working with Jared a little bit this week and a couple weeks and getting some other stuff to you guys. So
Yeah, the boxes are spectacular.
yeah, yeah, those boxes. Like if you're not pre-registered, that right there is the reason to pre-register.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, James just posted up all the prizes on the chat. So
So you have on our schedule here meta. Should we talk about the meta?
yeah, so we are in almost the same meta that we have been since at least the MPC. We had set 17 come out. It introduced
Props.
Rops has gained a lot.
Dark Side has just been ridiculous.
It's been Rops, Shadow Collective, CCT, whereas Lightside, even though Lightside got some new stuff like Your Thoughts Swallowing Your Mother, the Skywalker Saga, all that stuff, people are saying that Lightside is a mess while Darkside has just a lot of options. Do you agree with this? As a highly skilled player, do you agree with this?
Yes. I mean, on my team, we are just like, we did pretty well with Yoda communing at Worlds. We all went 5-3, except Harpster. And
wow.
but he didn't practice. So and we're having a hard time finding something better against the field. The problem is the field is so crazy for Dark Side. There's so many good Dark Side decks, that it's impossible. You kind of just have your best strategy is light is make sure you pick something you know how to play.
Yep.
And that you can have a chance in games. right?
So,
You're
so,
probably going to have a couple bad matchups, or just a bad matchup, no matter
so,
what light side you pick.
do you think that we're going to see not a lot of people going 8-0, 7-1? So we're going to see more like 6-2 and 5-3s in the top 8, or do you think we're going to have like
I,
Joe
I,
or Hayes or somebody, one
I,
of
I
those
don't know.
one of those guys like go just have like their normal day?
If Joe's taking it seriously, I think your best strategy is, I don't know, drug him, tie him up, put him in a box. We had a local, and we had a pretty strong local, and he went 6-0. It was me, Harpster, Phil, Turner, Kyle's been doing good, but he's buzzed through us. Although, yeah, yeah. I mean, I made a dumb mistake against him with my light side. I had total board control and let him beat me down.
What was the matchup?
He was playing No Idea and I was playing ROPS, and he had nothing on the table. Like, I had flipped system, and I'd blown out a couple of his guys at his site at the beach. Don't go to the beach. Go to the beach when he's got enough force to
Trap.
drop one. So I had swapped Gick out because I just get it back, and he had Cassian, so he canceled. And I didn't have Dark Time, so I couldn't make it, so he can't cancel. So he canceled it, so I can't swap, and so I couldn't play the Ujik. He was like, if you didn't make that play, you just crushed me. So he got away with one.
Hey, I'm assuming that was like game 5 or 6.
I don't remember. Yeah. In our little local.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was like game 2.
Oh, so it's still early on.
Yeah.
Because I mean, once the day goes long, I mean, I can understand making like little things like that. But when it's early in the day,
I know. I got greedy. I had the dude that makes it so you can't draw Destiny unless you have ability 4 character.
oh
It was
yeah,
irresistible.
Mm-hmm.
I went to drop down there and beat those guys up. Unfortunately, there was a rebeat in the offing.
yeah.
Yeah. But it was our first league event, and we found this. It's a new place we found way up north though of Seattle that is a game store, and then it has a bunch of beers on tap and ice cream.
Oh man, it sounds like we need to take a trip.
We might.
I mean, I'm coming in Thursday morning, so
Yeah. Oh yeah, we'll have something to do for sure.
Okay. So enough about the Indoor Grand Prix at this point. Let's go talk about some stuff that's currently going on in the Star Wars CCG world. Currently, so for those who didn't watch it earlier, the final game of the top 4 in the Batmouse 6th annual GMPC happened earlier today. It was supposed to happen tomorrow, but MHT and Miguel were like, "Hey, we're both here. Let's play." And MHT was able to hold out Miguel in his ROPS versus Legend matchup. It was not. It was pretty bad for Miguel. I want to say it was the first time he played Legend versus ROPS. But I mean, you got to think of it this way: Miguel had a heck of a run. So,
Yep.
and losing to the only number 1 seed, not the number 1 overall seed, but out of the 4 number 1 seeds in the tournament, not a bad thing. But now we are setting up a Matt Harrison trainer, Mike Kessling finals for the GEM-PC.
Should be exciting. Kessling's been playing awesome for a while now. I mean, I feel like he's due in some regards. He's been in top 4s, top 8s, dating back to the Texas Mini World. So. I mean, it should be great. Obviously, he's been on point, even with your commentary on the streams. He's been really smart with his lines of play. Helped Drew, with the NPCs. So a lot of good things going for him. And then MHT, I mean, he's been great. Outrider success, and he won the Texas Mini Worlds.
So he won,
about a year and a half ago.
And he won the OCS most recently. But we'll talk a little bit about that matchup here in a few minutes when we get into Swing and a Miss, though.
Right.
But continuing on right now in the OCS, no surprise, Joe Olson decided to take this month serious, and he's sitting at 11-1. Connor Britton's sitting at 10-2. Justin Desai at 10-1. Drew Lichtenstein, man, he had a good month, but at the same time, he's just running into some bad luck.
He's first in line for that at large bids. So
yeah.
He's one of the ones that people are chasing down there.
And then Taco Bill finally, I mean, he came into some unfortunate circumstances and lost. It was an epic game with his no idea against Tim Simons, Coruscant, Shizor Palace,
TPV,
yeah,
blasters.
Yeah, just a lot of blasters. Yep. But
yep.
I mean, he's still having a good
with
run.
Chocavator.
So, yeah, I mean the OCS.
Have you know, I was Justin's only loss these 2 months.
Really?
Nice.
That's awesome.
It was a pretty epic game. He beat me down on turn. Used ROPS against Communing, and he overflowed me for 6 and killed my Qui-Gon and Stick on turn 2, and I still came back and beat him.
Wow.
Nice.
Part of me now wants to see that replay.
Just to point out to people, you don't just give up if you get blown out in the first turn.
No, never give up. I mean, look what happened to I think it was Jeff Levine and Kessling in the Gem PC. Both of them lost game 1 and ended up winning in game 2. Yeah. Or no, that was Timo against Jeff Levine. Timo lost game 1, and then Kessling lost game 1 to Joe, and then Timo and Mike advanced to face each other in the final 4.
Yeah, I want to say Timo came back from like a 20-card deficit, so
yeah.
That was amazing. So,
but speaking of the Endor Grand Prix, again, if you are interested in going, again, a lot of cool prizes. We did talk about the hotel and everything. It's still promotion for $94 per night, and currently we're sitting at looks like 32 players. Nice little lineup coming out. Some big name players and some small name players. And then coming on down the pipe is the retro event. The 2022 retro event is Decipher only cards, so everything from Premiere up to Reflections 3 is going to be legal. That is going to be starting here on April 3rd, so make sure you sign up for it. A lot of cool prizes for it, and it's the
Coruscant, jeez, rare sheet, dark side,
yeah,
it's crazy.
And I hear it's free.
Yep.
So yeah, let's get this going. Everybody, register for this. And then April 30th, the PC turns 20 years old. To celebrate this, we're going to have a 1-day 6-game tournament to see who is the best player. Times are, everybody will be flexible for this one. So if you are looking into playing it and you don't have any idea when you want to play, well, just be, the PC is going to be flexible with start times and everything. So just go ahead and submit your choices in it once you want to. Again, Group A start time is going to be 7 a.m. Eastern. Group B is 3 p.m. Eastern. For this 1-day event, it's only $5.20. And again, a lot of cool prizes for it. The prizes include cash, but who really cares about cash? A Reflections foil uncut sheet. I mean, that right there is really good. And then some other cool stuff.
Posted links for both the retro event and the PC20 event, so feel free to take a look and read up on those, and we'll have links in them on how to sign up as well if you want to join.
Anybody know the significance of the $5.20? Is the 20 because it's 20?
I think so.
20th anniversary.
Yeah.
20 cents for the 20th anniversary. Nice.
Yep.
And again, the donation program is still live until April 15th. If you are interested in participating in that, please go ahead and just donate. and then fill out the Google Forms if you're a tier 3 or higher donator. And against a lot of cool stuff if you donate. If you do just like $25, you get foils. The non-foil Coruscant V-Slip, foil is Bo-Katan, and then if you do a little bit more, you get water bottle, foil, Coruscant V, full slip of a full foil slip of Darth Vader, Betrayer of the Jedi, and then once it gets to $100 or more, that's where you get the cool stuff like those deck boxes. So again, all the money that the PC generates, it does not go into Scott's pockets. It goes back to you guys. So everything that we do for the banners, all the streaming equipment, GEMP, the prizes, the deck boxes, it all goes back. It's all funneled into the PC. So don't just be like, hey, Scott's like buying himself a new Mustang.
Yeah.
Really, does anybody really see Scott driving a Mustang?
Nope.
I'm sure they have quite the postal bill.
Yep. A lot of GEM support issues, and everything that obviously that helps support everything that we do to keep this game alive. So thank you guys. Do you guys have deck boxes yet?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
I
I'm waiting for mine. Joe is showing it off on one of his streams. Is kind of doing a pew pew thing with Kylo Ren, but they look awesome. So super excited.
So far, I have the AT-AT or the Blizzard 8. I have Vader on the way. I'm going to have another one here for the registration from the Ender Grand Prix, and I'm going to be donating next month. So I'm going to have 4 here soon.
Yeah.
Just call me Brian. Just call me Brian Fred here.
Brian Fred Jace.
Well, Brian Fred with the fist. Again, so if you're looking to play in the retro event, we're at 51 players. It's going to be fun. And if you are going to be signing up for the PC 20 event, please, if you're flexible time wise, indicate that when you sign up. So, say if you can play in the early morning or in the evening or at the other times, let them know so it's easier. Also, we're going to be looking for people to stream these games. If you're interested in participating in the streaming and say you don't want to play but you want to stream, we'll make sure you get those cool stuff that everybody gets just for participating. We take care of our volunteers.
They do.
Okay, gentlemen, let's do some swing and a miss. We got 4 questions set aside for tonight. Are you guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, our first question. The 2022 Endor Grand Prix will have over 10.5 more players than the 2021.
2020.
So 2020 we had 35 players. We're currently sitting at 32.
So you're telling me
We're going to get at least 45 and a half.
44, so 46.
Yeah.
46 is the swing.
I don't know. Like, I mean, Bradmouse is bringing his family. They should at least count for a half.
Yep.
I do know of people who are coming that haven't signed up. I'm trying to think if I can parlay that into. I think the most we've had that actually played was 39. That's our biggest. So you're going like 7 over our biggest.
Yeah.
It's a tough call. As organizer, I feel like I have to say it's a hit. Of course, we're going to get that.
I have to say it's a hit because I'm helping out with the promotion for this. So that's me being confident in myself there. It's a hit.
Right.
I'm going to say it's a miss.
It's a bias. It's a hit.
I'm going to say it's a miss. Only because, I mean, March is like one of those weird types of month. Like you said, kids are still in school. Everybody has families. I don't know. I mean, I would like to say it's a hit. I really would, but I think we're going to be a little short.
Yeah. I think we will have more than the MPC.
That is I can agree with you 100% on that.
Yep.
We won't have people drop out and drop below.
No. I don't think anybody's going to have COVID and have to drive home to Seattle.
No.
If they do, it'll at least be a shorter drive this time.
That's right.
Yeah. On to question number 2. At least 1.5 players will use the new set 18 preview cards and make the top 8.
You had to add that little bit on the end.
Yep. I mean, come on. The new Qui-Gon's pretty good. I mean, you don't
Only
get
for
the
one
extra
less?
destiny. Yeah, he's one less. You don't. I mean, yeah, you don't get the destiny from facing down Maul, but yeah,
Got my oppressive enforcement, my bridge right there.
yeah. I mean, who has? Okay, here's my question: like, how many players actually have 3 copies of the Bridge Pooler at this point? The We Must Accelerate Plans.
Right. Right.
And who wants to play? Who wants to spend $80 on a We Must Accelerate Plans right now? What do you just use Impressive Enforcement? That's like a $3 card, if
Yep.
that.
I got 2 for $3, I think, when I realized that I had 3 pneumonia advisors and only 1 oppressive enforcement. But it's a very
Yeah.
quick correction.
Now, I mean, granted, yeah, like I have 4 We Must Accelerate Plans, but that's besides the point. Like,
We definitely
Bill,
will have players using it.
Well,
Yeah.
they also need to make the top 8, so
I have to
That's
say
I
what
something.
Dan wanted to do,
I
right?
could see somebody like, I mean, I would love somebody to play the new Mace and run like a clone stack, but
Yep.
we haven't had any real clones in a while.
Captain Rex is a real clone.
Well, I know Captain Rex is Cody and Rex are real clones. Tufts are real clone, but I'm saying like we haven't had anything like if we had a
A real
clone,
clone deck, yeah.
a deck to build them around, that would be great. And I mean, okay, when a player like MHT is saying in the chat, there's an argument for playing 3 We Must Accelerate Plans and 1 Oppressive Enforcement, and he thinks somebody's going to do that. I think somebody could. I could see
That's true.
I could see somebody playing like Mike Kessling playing map and running 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Reasonable in invasion, hunt down with new gun ray. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Bill.
Senate.
Definitely have some hits on the.
Yeah, I think
Then,
I could see
yeah.
this one. I could see somebody. I mean, I do agree that if it was like only 1 player, I agree, but 2 is going to be
I
a
think-
little stretching.
I suspect the top players are just gonna be too lazy to cut out the slips. We already have the cards.
True. Okay, on to.
I'll go on the record and say it's a hit on my end. Why not?
I'm going to say
All
it's a miss too. Okay, on to question number 3. Joe Olsen will finally win the 1 major he has yet to win this year. The U.S. major, by the way. Sorry.
I just the field seems like it's playing so well right now. You know, there's a lot of players that I think have a chance to win this thing. Maybe Joe has the best out of all of them, but I think that's still a minority when you look at all of the great players that are there. So I'll
Right.
say it's a miss. Sometimes too, you have like those franchises that just can't get over the hump for one particular thing. They've got these really interesting little quirks to them,
Yeah.
like the Seattle Seahawks like always win on Saturday, for example. And it's just like
Seattle Mariners
yeah.
haven't been
yeah,
to the
so I'll-
playoffs in how long?
Yep. So
I'm
I'll say
sensing a running theme here with Seattle and Joe.
Yep. So we'll say I'll say it's a miss unless the beers are distributed a little unevenly here.
Chris.
I playing in the event.
Yeah.
Certainly
I'm
want to be
playing
with the
too.
field.
I mean, okay,
Yeah.
I had to play in the last Endor Grand Prix. I had to play Joe twice.
Mhm. Good time.
First round, and then I want to say it was like the 4th round.
That's good if you get to play in the 4th round. That means you're
Yeah.
doing well.
I think I was like 1 and 3. I was 3 and 1 with my only loss.
I mean,
to Joe.
I think Joe, like if you had to bet on Joe making the top 8, it's a hit, right? So he's going to make the top 8, and then he's
Did he
got
not?
3 matches to go, and it is tough to beat in match play. It's
Mhm.
tough to beat in match play, and it's Endor, and a lot of the players that you're looking at that like to that a lot of these guys, I'm going to suck them into staying up all night.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so
Bill points
and
out
Joe
this.
will.
I was going to say,
Joe
Bill
will be.
pointed it out in the chat right there. Joe
Yeah.
got 2 free wins against me and didn't make the top 8 at the last Indoor Grand Prix. That tells you something right there.
Yeah, he could. I mean, he does like to stay up and play games, so maybe he sandbags so he can play games. But he stays up anyway. If he can get some deck spell real quick, he comes back down
True.
for some Avalon
Yeah.
on Saturday night. His sleep is not that important.
No, it isn't. I was going to say, no, I don't think I'm going to take the field again. I don't think Joe's going to make a top 8.
You don't even think he's gonna make the top 8?
Nope.
Wow. Wow. Well, I'm gonna say
Okay,
it's a hit for Joe.
you know what? If I'm looking at the registered players right now, and I'm looking at the top, I'm going to tell you who's going to be. Here's my top 8. Okay, let me pull up the registered players.
You're giving some bulletin board material here, Dan. Just
Well, I will say this: like, I know that whenever I pick somebody to win, it's the kiss of death.
Mm-hmm.
Don't pick me.
And hey, if he's fired up and ready to play, that's good for everybody. You
Okay.
know, we'll get some
Here's
good games to watch.
Here's my
Oh, yeah.
top 8 in no particular order. Phil, Brian Fred. Actually, no, I'm not going to pick Brian Fred. I'm sorry. Phil, Connor Britton, Kessling, Jeff Levine, Hayes. So Phil, Connor, Kessling, Jeff Levine, Justin Miyashiro, Hayes, and
Bill Kafer.
well, I was going to say Cohen and Bill
hot.
Kafer.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's tons of guys here that are really great, so
Yeah.
really hard to argue against any of them, you know?
And I think the guy to win it is going to be, if I had to pick somebody to win it besides Joe and Hayes, I'm picking Kessling. Like, Kessling's playing ridiculously well right now.
Yep. He's really great.
So there you have it. There's my top 8. If it happens, if it happens, you know what? I'll come on here and I will give each of them, each of the players that I just picked, a pack of Holotheatre cards.
You have to have that exact set though. Make the top 8.
Yeah.
Or if any of them make the top 8.
Nope. Has to be the exact players.
Okay. Pretty safe bet on your side.
Yeah, I know. We're going to do a fantasy contest. We'll get that running with Jared and I and all the other players and Bill. Last question of the night. Who do you got? Matt Harrison Trainer or Kessling in the Gem PC?
I got a snap answer. I got Matt HT. Or no, sorry, backwards. Kessling. Sorry.
James?
Watching Matt HT, he's still, although he's gotten a lot better. When he first came back, I was seeing he's doing a lot of weird stuff, like not optimal plays.
I mean, he was getting really close in game 1 against Miguel to go into time. So
Yeah, with all due respect to Kessling, who's been playing phenomenal. I feel like MHT always has a couple cards that are a little unexpected that seem to really turn the game. I feel like he was kind of first in on the Wookiee Strangle rescuing the clouds thing. You know, he had the control set for stun that he was recurring in map. That was amazing. I haven't seen a ton of people playing that, so he just seems to always have you know, something in the meta that seems to swing the games in his favor. So I'll pick MHT.
Well, we already know the matchup. It's going to be Old Allies for both players versus ROPS and Shadow Collective. So, and you know what? I'm not going to pick either player because, obviously, like I said, I'm the kiss of death. So I'm going to pick myself as the commentator. I know
I'm
that's
picking Kessling.
I know that's a cop out. But I don't want the loser. Like, say, if I pick Matt Harrison Trainer, I don't want him, if he loses, to say, "Well, Dan picked me. I'm blaming him."
Yeah, but how can you have swing and the miss questions and asking about who's going to pick who, and then not ultimately pick them as the I don't know. So
Because this is my
anyway.
show and I can do what I want.
Okay.
That's fair.
Honestly, like, my original pick was Bastion. I didn't have MHT. I think I had MHT in the final four. Yeah, I think I had MHT in the final four, so I can't complain there. But I think I had MHT losing to Bastion and then Bastion beating Joe in the finals. So I don't even think I gave Kessling a chance. So if I had to go on based on my original predictions, it would be MHT. Sorry, Matt, if you end up losing and because of what I just said, I apologize.
Hey, we got the Outrider Cup correct, so it's not total kiss of death.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, actually, yeah. I think that's the first time I picked somebody to win something, and it happened in a long time. Okay, so that's all we got for swing and a miss. Wirfs, are you ready for your lore challenge?
No. Go
Not
ahead.
at all. Okay.
I'm terrible at lore. Can I call a friend? Can I call Lenny?
You can. You
Okay,
know
go
what?
ahead.
I'll give
Go
you
for it.
I'll give you the chat. Okay.
Oh, I can access chat. They can help me out.
Yes. However, I
Maybe
have
I'd
to. Okay.
trust them.
No.
Somebody cheat
You
and
can
look it
have
up.
someone in the chat. Okay. You got to have one person in the chat.
Okay, but they can't cheat.
They cannot
Good God.
cheat. Okay.
No looking it up. That's no
Yes,
fun.
please. That's all I'm going to say. This is, please, code of honor.
I don't
Don't
see
look it up.
anybody in here who pays attention to lore. Who's Gray Chevy Van?
I have no idea.
Oh, then I'd probably pick that guy. I'm not picking Kyle.
I was going to say, Bill's. We have.
Kyle's probably high.
Who's Gray Chevy Van? I don't remember who Gray Chevy Van is.
I don't think Matt has the lore memorized. Pretty sure.
I think Bill has won a lore challenge before. I'll tell you that.
I'll take the Dough Man. The Dough Man.
Oh.
I'll take the Dough
Eric
Man. He seems
Hallbaker.
eager.
Eric Hallbaker is Gray Chevy Van.
Yep.
Okay, so who are you going to take as your phone a friend?
The Dough Man.
Bill? Okay, Bill, you are Wirfs' phone a friend. You guys can work together on this. Again, I'm going to show the lore and I'll read it, and then you guys can ask. You guys can say if you want.
Oh, you're giving the lore. I don't have.
I'm going to give the lore.
Oh, that's easier.
And then you give me the card.
Oh, that would be brutal.
Okay, and
Still hard.
after I read the lore, you get to tell me if you want the card type or the set it's from.
Okay.
Okay.
I remember this. Okay.
Okay, the lore is Jabba's Nimbano accountant. Inside contacts allowed him to disrupt the cash flow of the Hutt's enemies. He knows a mistake could make him the next write-off.
Wow, that's a lot of lore.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to say like Bib Fortuna or something. What do you think, Dough Man? Don't cheat. Did you already cheat, Dough Man? Don't do it.
I don't know, but do you want the set or the card type?
I know this one.
I better take the. I know what set it's from, so I better take the.
Yeah.
I better take the card type.
Okay, it's a character.
Yeah, it's a character.
It's
Who's
an alien.
Accountant? Yeah, I would kind of guess that.
He's an oldie but a goodie.
Hey, you be quiet over there, James. Well, technically, all of them are oldie but goodie, but
Mosep.
I was gonna say the chat does not get to help except for Bill.
It's
So-
Clayton.
Huh? Well, it's
Ellen
Clayton.
says it's Clayton. Yeah. See, I picked a good one. to
Well,
help
you
me.
said Bill, right? Oh no, you picked the Dough Man.
Yeah, the Dough Man.
Oh, okay. So you picked Clayton. Okay. I'm sorry. I apologize. There's your phone a friend.
Uh, yeah, I picked the dough man. You're thinking Mosep. Was Mosep some sort of accountant dude? I don't know.
No, I don't know who you are, the Dough Man.
He just said he's Clayton.
Yeah, now I know.
Anyway, so it couldn't be Bib Fortuna, right? That's too easy. I think Bib Fortuna doesn't have much text, does he? Um, I don't know.
5. I need an answer.
I'm gonna go. Doman, how? Give me your strength on Mosep. How strong do you feel about Mosep?
Okay, the next response he gives is it, and then I need an answer for you.
Okay.
He's 6 out of 10.
All right. I'm gonna go with the Doman because I'm bad at lore, so we'll say
Move.
Mosep.
So you're going to go
Mosep.
with Mosep. Final answer.
Yes, final answer. Locking it in.
Okay. You're
Healing
correct.
cards from reserve deck. Yeah, 4
Yeah.
strengths.
You are correct,
Nice.
sir. The Dough Man and you both get a pack.
Oh,
Yeah,
Clayton.
he was a staple for man until like I feel like Cloud City. He was in almost
Yeah.
all my decks. Yeah.
Yeah, he was
So
good.
I'll get you both of you guys a Holotheatre pack here as soon as I'm finished creating them.
Well, just
How
put
many
it in
more?
your bag.
How many more do
Just
you
put
have
it
to
in your
go?
bag.
A lot.
Put my name on it and put it in your bag for Endor.
Will do. Clayton, if
Dad
you're gonna
did,
if you're gonna be at
Dad-
Endor, let me know.
yeah, and Dad did post a lot of the images on the forums, which is kind of cool. So
Yeah.
still the stuff you
And
could win, like Supreme Leader Scott.
yeah.
Clayton is the second one registered. So
Oh, nice. Okay, so the other thing is we're going to actually start making those into stickers as well. So
Oh, cool.
they're not going to be in
Cool.
the packs, but we're going to start giving them out as stickers. But that's all we have for this week. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Again, I don't know if Jared is still streaming or not.
Looks like he's off.
Yeah, it looks like he's done. So go ahead and watch that. I don't know if he gave a token card or not as well. But for the sticker program. But again, thanks for watching. Once we have the final set for the Gen PC, we'll let you guys know. Next week on Holotheatre, I'm hoping to have Tom Hade, former world champion and perennial top 8. Yeah, Bill gave a token out earlier. It was control and set for stun during the broadcast of Game 2 of MHT versus Miguel. So thank you, Bill. Again, I want to thank James and Wirfs for coming on tonight. It is a pleasure, and we'll see everybody next week. Take
Always
care.
fun talking. All the best.